Professor Woong at Aju University. He is currently serving in the Medical Information Department, and he is a healthcare professional. He is also doing data analysis with 60 institutions, and he is contributing a great deal in effective patient treatment. And he has also established a research-free zone where people can use common data for international research. Also, working with healthcare and technology together, he is leading the medical information sector in the world. Professor Park today will be presenting on AI algorithm to predict personalized empirical antibiotic selection. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Morning. It's my honor to be invited here to share my study with you. Today I would like to introduce about my study entitled AI Algorithm to Predict Personalized Empirical Antibiotic Selection. I come from the hospital side. Briefly, I graduated medical school and 1 year of internship and had 4 years of residence in the surgical pathology. So I got the board certification at 2000. It's 24 years ago. And at that, I changed my career into the medical informatics. So I never seen the microscope for the past 24 years. So I forgot how to handle the microscope. Just I'm focusing on the medical informatics, how to handle the medical data in the hospital. So, yeah. So you are experts. So we all know that antimicrobial resistance is increasing worldwide and known to one of the top dangers to humanity. Here, there are multiple causes of antimicrobial resistance as follows. However, in this presentation, I would like focusing on the inappropriate antimicrobial prescription, especially how to improve empirical antibiotics prescription in the hospital. Okay. When treating systemic infection, physicians first need to identify the microorganism causing the infection and check its antibiotic susceptibility. However, in case of severe systemic infection, we can't wait for test results before starting treatment. So after taking samples from the patient, patients usually begin empirical antibiotic treatment based on the patient's overall condition, past history of infection, and the hospital's current antibiotic resistance data, or so-called local antibiogram. If the chosen antibiotics are inappropriate, it can lead to increased AMR and worse outcome for the patient. This is an example of antimicrobiogram. It provides recent susceptibility status of the microorganism to different antibiotics in the hospital. It is very important in the hospital for the empirical antibiotic prescription. However, it has several limitations. Sometimes it is not available to the physician on bedside, and also it is outdated. It updated usually biannually. That means some data can be very past one, so that it cannot reflect the current situation of the hospital. And also, it do not provide antibiotic resistance profile. That means the distribution of the resistance in the hospital. And sometimes it is limited by MDR or prevalence. So let's suppose this is what we try to improve. It would be great if AI algorithm could. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It would be great if AI algorithms could predict the best antibiotic for a patient based on the patient's past and current condition, plus daily updated local antibiogram, along with the likelihood of the resistance, even without waiting for the culture result. If the prediction is accurate, we could expect better outcome, and we can reduce the risk of AMR in the hospital. Of course, there are many prior researches on these topics. However, they are limited by low performance or non-specificity. So currently, the choice of empirical antibiotics relies on clinicians' expertise and limited available data. Thus, we aim to develop AI models to present numeric antibiotic resistance risk score at the time of initial empirical antibiotic selection on admission to support CDSS. This study focusing on the hospital-acquired urinary tract infection. So for this purpose, we use the EHR, electronic health record data in our hospital, but it is already converted into the OMAP CDM. It's a kind of a de facto standard. Is there someone who ever heard about the OMAP CDM or RDC? No. Yeah, I'll explain in the later part of my presentation. So OMAP CDM is a kind of de facto standard used in the medical field. Our database is already converted into the OMAP CDM, and the study population was focused on the suspected nosocomial infection for the urinary tract infection for adults. So we used this kind of enroll and exclusion criteria. In our databases, there were about 780,000 records of urine culture result from the 233 patients. Also, for the antibiotic susceptibility test result, there were about 9 million tests from 132,000 patients, and there were about 135 types of susceptibility test results in our hospital OMAP CDM databases. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to handle this notebook and that, I'm sorry. So the outcome was to predict insusceptibility. And the predictor or independent variable for the AI model, we used the candidate predictors from the demographics of the patient, condition. Condition means the diagnosis, and the drug, the measurement, and procedure, visit, and also the local antibiogram from the hospital. And to select, there are too many variables in the hospital. We tried to select the important variables from all of the available variables. So we used the lasso shrinkage for full AI model, and also we used the lasso shrinkage plus clinical knowledge for the parsimonious model. Or parsimonious model means the very simple version of a model. So we use the lasso logistic regression and XGBoost random forest and the stacked ensemble algorithm to make the AI model. And for the model calibration, we use this kind of measures. So for the model development, we use the patient characteristics, including the clinical observations, disease severity, history of MDRO infection, and previous antibiotic exposure, plus the hospital data. That means the local antibiogram. And we try to make an AI algorithm like the right side. So if the physician enters the patient current and past history or current status, then the AI make the probability of resistance of each antibiotics for the patient, like the right side of the slide. The right side of the slide also it doesn't work. It shows the distribution of the insusceptibility of that antibiotics in the hospital. The red bar, the right side, the red bar means the current status of the patient. And this is the baseline characteristics of the patient. For the ampicillin, about 5,000 patients were enrolled. Ampicillin and sulbactam, about 5,000 patients enrolled, and all the clinical characteristics of the patients are presented in here. And as a result, we use the age group and sex for demographics. And for the condition, past condition, we use the hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, etc. And for the past and current condition, we use the pneumonia, sepsis, UTI, cystitis, nephritis. And also we use the local antibiogram. And also we use the history of the IV antibiotics, PO antibiotics like that. And also we use the prior MDRO, including VRE, MRSC, CRE, ESLB. And also we included the procedure for the predictor. And also we use the patient past inpatient visit or ICU visit history. So this is the result for the ampicillin. The performance AUROC was about 0.7, and also for other antibiotics, the performance are very similar. So we use the 4 kind of AI algorithm, including the lasso logistic regression, XGBoost, random forest. All of the performance were very similar. And for the explainability of the AI algorithm, we use the sharp value. The sharp value can quantify the contribution of variables to the model. So for the ciprofloxacin, we can see that the age and the antibiogram is very important to determine the probability of insusceptibility. But for the piperacillin and tazobactam, we can see although age and antibiograms are very important for the prediction. However, as you see, the ESRD, urinary infection, IV, anti-pseudomonas continuous IV injection, like other factors, the patient current condition is also important for certain antibiotics. So in some antibiotics, the antibiogram itself is very important, but for others, the current or past conditions are important. So we can see what is important for the prediction of the model. Because it is very hard to calculate all of the input, all of the variables by the clinicians on site, so we developed an application that works on the website. It is developed by the Shiny. So the patients just easily can click the proper condition of the patient. And if you want, you can explore the site here. The right side, this is the address for the app. So this is the result. For the patient, I think the PPT, I forgot the acronym of the piperacillin and tazobactam. I think it's the best choice for the patient before we know the culture result. And other, what was the ciprofloxacin? I think ciprofloxacin is the very poor drug. Must be very poor choice for the patient because it has about 55% of the susceptibility. And in the right lower side of the graph, we can see the distribution of the susceptibility in the hospital. And the patient is around the middle of the distribution. And also in the right lower side, we can see the insusceptibility changes over time. Also we can see the seasonal variation in the hospital. So in some seasons it's very low, in some seasons very high. So, but it is increasing continuously. This is another example. Here, the patient is very lucky because he has more options to choose for the empiric antibiotics. So with these applications, the physician can choose the correct antibiotics can be good for the patient prognosis and reduce the inappropriate AMR. Okay, this result was published in the International Journal Antimicrobial Agent last year. So if you have an interest, I think you can refer the paper. In the first part, I explained about the omapcidium. It's a kind of the standard EHR standard for the analysis. It is led by the Odyssey, or Observational Health Data Science and Informatics. That was started as OMAP in 2007, and then it changed to Odyssey in 2014. Odyssey has been established as a multi-stakeholder interdisciplinary collaborative to create open source solution for large-scale analytics using the OMAP CDM. So now it is 2 years old data, but now there are more than now it's about 4,000 collaborators from the 80 countries, and also there are about 500 data sources from 41 countries. It covers about 928 million unique patient records. That covers about 12% of the global population. So in Korea, starting in 2014, I was the first in Asia to convert our hospital's EMR data into the OMAP CDM. Since then, the number of participating hardware has steadily increased from 2018, with government support. 2 large research projects has been carried out over a 5-year period. The goal of this project is to convert the hospital EHR data into the OMAP CDM, at least 61 hospitals into OMAP CDM, and connect them through a network for share use. This is a kind of distributed research network. Here, the data cannot come out from the hospital. As all the hospital data are standardized using the OMAP CDM, if someone wants to analyze the hospital data, then he can make an analytic code using the R or SQL. Then he sends that analytic code into each hospital. Then the hospital run that analytic code, and they can get the analytic result. Then they send back that analytic code into the center. So even though we do not have data, we can analyze all the participating hospitals, the summary result. Also, we can make an AI algorithm using the federated learning. It is a time limit, I will not explain well, but using the federated learning, also we can make AI algorithm that works using all of the participating hospitals. So as a result, now 75 hospitals in Korea, including over 80% of tertiary teaching hospitals, are now part of OMAP CDM in Korea. This means that all the structural data from the EMR of the participating hospital have been converted to OMAP CDM, and we can freely access the 75 hospitals' data. Also, but the problem is the data governance. Some hospitals cannot provide their data to other hospitals. Sometimes it is very limited. So we made a research for the region, so-called RFG. That means within the RFG, it permits unlimited reciprocal data access with single IRB between the RFG. So now we have 34 hospitals in research for the region. So in any researcher or anyone in the hospital can access this data, but they cannot see the raw data. Just they can send the analytic code to the hospital and only get the statistical data, or they use the federated learning to make an AI algorithm that works fit to every hospital data. And now more than 30 hospitals OMAP CDM data updated daily or weekly or monthly. That means we can access the very recent hospital data with using these systems. Since Korea already has an established OMAP CDM network, so I'd like briefly introduce an existing project that used this OMAP CDM network to build an infectious disease surveillance system. This is a working scenario. First, data, the upper side, the data on infectious disease from participant hospitals EMR is automatically converted into OMAP CDM format daily. And however, the data stay within the hospital, but if someone with access want to analyze it, they send the query to each hospital. Then only the analyzed